Hi, I'm here just outside the Memorial de la Shoah, the Holocaust Museum in Paris, France. On one of the last days on the trip, it was one of the things I wanted to make sure I got in to see. You go inside and it shows the history of the Jews in France over, well, 1,000 years or more. And of course there's an awful lot that leads up to the Nazis and the Vichy government here in France and the Second World War and then finally how many people were killed and the concentration camps, the whole history. I've been to Auschwitz many years ago, and I don't mind saying whenever I see this, it's one of the most moving things in my life, because it's just hard to imagine that it happened. And then we have to ask the question, as we always do, how did it happen? And it's so evident throughout, whether they were talking about individuals, whether they were talking about churches, whether they were talking about organizations, no one wanted to speak up. As it got worse and worse and worse, and as people's rights were taken away, and as the atrocities got greater, people were unwilling to speak up until then the fear was so great, in fact, you would die if you did do anything. It was just horrendous. So the question is, what can we learn from this? What are the things that we can do? Right behind me, actually, is a list of the righteous, the people who were known in France to have helped Jews or to have hidden or helped Jews to escape. They did so at great personal expense, including a number of these people would have died in order to do it, but they did it because they realized they couldn't let this happen to another human being. It doesn't matter about their social structure or standing, it doesn't matter about their education, it doesn't matter what they did. It's the notion that they couldn't let this happen to another person, so they went against great personal risk in order to do this. And that's what I often take from when I see these kind of things. What is the lesson that we've got here? And the lesson certainly is that while we don't have, let's say in Canada or in the United States, we don't have the atrocities of what the Nazis did, the fact is that whenever we do see something that we know is wrong, we have to speak up. That's the absolute lesson. And if people like the names on here could do so at their own personal peril, then we can certainly do it. If an inappropriate comment is made, or some government is creating some legislation, or even in the workplace, if people are making inappropriate jokes, it all leads to the kind of things that eventually make discrimination so much greater for people in order to get away with that kind of stuff. So I encourage you to, where you can, come and see, whether it's here in Paris or go to other Holocaust museums around the world. It's a constant reminder of how we can't forget of the atrocities that took place, and more appropriately, how we allowed the atrocities to actually get to the point where they happened.